Miraj, when the Holy Prophet went above Sidratul Muntaha into the La Makan and La Zaman, no place and no time. When he's in no time in the divine presence, the present, past and future are the same. So how can you throw light on, if he's in the past, in the present and the future, then how you explain his coming back, and how does that relate to us in this time?
When the Prophet ﷺ was talking about his experience, he is making it more understandable for us so that we take what is necessary. To understand even that place that has no place, or the time that has no time, this is just philosophy. This is philosophy. Do we even understand what it is to live without any breath? What happens if you try to hold your breath? You complete panic, right, if there's no breath? What do you think if such an explanation were given to common people? They will lose their minds. So it's not necessary for that. Prophet ﷺ is talking about situations like that because it is so high, and he had to bring from a high position. This is the role of a prophet, to bring something that is so that cannot be captured in human terms, but he has to explain it in human terms to people who don't believe. You know how impossible it is? It's not just to hear and then to say. It's like, how can I make them understand? How can I make them understand? How can I make them understand and aim to their heart so that it pierces through all the ignorance and everything? And I'm not talking over them. This is not philosophy. This is something that is real. It's very difficult. This is why we say the sheikhs, they are inheritors of the prophets. How can we make them to understand? It's so easy. Scholars, they don't try to make people to understand. They just say, they just read. They just write a book and they say, but they don't try to put their heart and to change a person's heart, with Allah's permission, of course. Slowly, for years. They just teach. So, Prophet ﷺ, when he's explaining something like that, that is impossible, and he makes it to become possible, to know that that is just the one who has no shadow. He's just talking about it to give us just a shadow of something that is more real than that, just that shadow. You understand? Something that is more real. Which now we have to know. The words of Allah from the lips of the Prophet ﷺ, Quran Kareem. You cannot take that with just one meaning, thinking what it is as it has been taught to you. Descriptions of Jannat is just descriptions. It is because what the heart longs is just a description of a shadow. Is not even something that is real, because it's impossible to. It's kind of like Shaykh Effendi telling the story. This man, and he has a son. They live in the house, they never go out, they never see anything. But the man has seen everything. He's trying to explain to his son what an elephant is. But the only creature that the son has seen is a mouse. So the father says, my son, there is a very big creature. He's called an elephant. He's huge and he has huge ears. And the son is saying, his ears like mouse, but huge? The father says, yeah. It's not. But he has to say, what else is there? And he has a long nose. I said, oh, like mouse nose but longer? He says, yeah. So when the prophets, they're trying to explain something like that, and so many of these things that they're talking about, it is so buried down deep inside of us that if we don't go through the process of opening things up, whether through our lives or the last 7 breaths that is going to come to us, which by that time it's going to be too late, it is already there. We have witnessed this. We have witnessed our Lord. Have we not? Have we not? Of course. So the day of Qalubala, was there a time to that? Was there a space to that? No. But do we get the meaning of it? Yes. Allah saying, Alastu bi Rabbikum. And was He speaking? Speaking? How are you going to understand now the speech of Allah? Just because we're speaking doesn't mean Allah is speaking the way we're speaking. We may be that mouse, but don't think the elephant is. Allah is seeing. That's why man is saying, oh, yeah, Allah is seeing the way we're seeing. So, man who has intelligence, he has faith, he has modesty. He is following prophets who say, this is just, I'm giving you just some tips, some clues for that, but it's something much bigger. You understand? Yes, we understand. Slowly, through training, you will start remembering. You start remembering and you say, this is something that we cannot even talk about. If this is a place inside of a place, or a place that has no place, a time that has no time, a speech that has no speech, and we are bound in this world by everything, and especially by our ego, how can we even talk or imagine such things? How can we? Javani said he picked up a book written by Shaykhul Akbar, Muhyiddin ibn Arabi, and he said, for 5 years I could only read 1 page. I read and I put it down. This is Shaykhul Akbar. He is a sheikh for the sheikhs. But now people are reading and they're passing commentary. They're thinking they know. So, we must know what the Prophet ﷺ, what he wants to tell his ummah from his meeting with Allah. And what from that is necessary, we take. From that meeting, there is a knowledge that is for the awam, and there is a knowledge for his sahabis. And there's a knowledge there that is for the chosen ones. And there is another knowledge there that is only between the lover and the beloved, not for anyone else. You're talking about the knowledge between the lover and the beloved. It's not our business. Sometimes our business is just looking at them, looking at each other, and loving each other, and we are blessed just to be in that presence. And that is enough. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.